Thank you for coming tonight. And when you're ready, you can just hit play on the Spotify playlist if you have that. So just hit play. It doesn't matter if we're a little bit out of sync with that. The playlist is in the email or it should be in the chat. And we're going to come to the mats, and we're actually going to start this evening on our backs. So come to your mat. And starting in a corpse pose, just like you would in Savasana, but we're going to butterfly our legs out to the side. So your feet are pressed firmly together. You're going to butterfly your legs out to the side. And at this point, I would also just double check that you've muted yourself for the class. And we're just going to start to kind of move into our breath and try to escape from the day that we've had or the upcoming week. The theme of tonight's class is to quiet our inner voice and to work on quieting our inner voice, which is something that often causes me anxiety. Maybe I've forgotten to get back to a certain email or call a friend back who called, or left something someplace that I forgot to go pick up, whatever that might be. When we get to the mat this evening, let's really focus on just connecting to our breath and quieting our inner voice. Palms should be up, receiving the energy around you. Starting to connect to your Ujjayi breath, which is breathing in through your nostrils and out through your nostrils. Eyes should be closed. And you should begin to find that connection to your breath, but also a nice relaxation and a nice state of calmness. So just breathe into this moment. I've been reconnecting and reading a book called The Untethered Soul, The Journey Beyond Yourself. And the chapter that I was on is about quieting your inner voice, which is why I wanted to base the class around this. There's a section that says, obviously you can't shut it up. The best way to free yourself from this incessant chatter is to step back and view it objectively. Just view the voice as a vocalizing mechanism that is capable of making it appear like someone is in there talking to you. Don't think about it, just notice it. No matter what the voice is saying, it's all the same. It doesn't matter if it's saying nice things or mean things, worldly things or spiritual things. It doesn't matter because it is still just a voice talking inside your head. In fact, the only way to get your distance from this voice is to stop differentiating what it's saying. Stop feeling that one thing it says you and the other thing it says is not you. If you're hearing it talk, it obviously is not you. You are the one who hears the voice. You are the one who notices that it's talking. Take your left hand and place it on your belly, and your right hand and place it over your heart center. And together we'll take one deep breath in, and exhaling, open the mouth, letting a deep breath out. Now come to put the soles of your feet onto the earth and your knees up to the sky. And take your arms out into a cactus position. So we're going to just begin by opening the chest up a little bit here. And just give your massage your sacrum. So your lower back, your sacrum, just begin to massage it and rock it back and forth into the earth. While you've got your chest and your shoulders opening up in this nice cactus position. And then we're going to drop the knees over to the right side of your room. So both knees should be facing your back wall or the right side of your room. And then you're slowly going to take your left knee to meet your right. So you're going to deepen your side twist. So your upper back should be on the floor and your right hip will be twisted facing the right. And you're going to open up the arms into a T shape. From here, we're going to do some book openers. So we're going to start by closing the book, which means taking the left hand to meet the right palm. And your head follows that hand. And then you're gently going to take the left arm and sweep it across your body, almost like you're rubbing paint across your body and your arm. We're going to do this a few more times. Closing the book, turning your pages, and opening and flipping, but just gently scraping across the upper part of your body. And let your head follow your hand, so you're getting a nice gentle stretch in the neck. 2 more times, closing the book and opening. 1 more time, staying connected to your breath. Inhale as you close the book. And exhale as you open the book. Knees back up to the sky, feet planted into the earth. Again, a nice little gentle massage of your sacrum, rocking your hips. And then gently drop the knees over to your left side. Cactus the arms again, just feeling that nice chest opener, opening up your heart chakra. And then taking the right knee to meet the left. Deepening this twist and this stretch on the side of your body. You should really feel it on this right side of your body. And then opening up the arms into this T position. We're going to do our book openers to the left side. So closing the book, letting the pages flutter shut. Your head follows your hand. And then opening the book, sweeping the arm across the body, following the head to the right side. Repeat, closing the pages. And then opening, slowly painting a nice stripe across the upper part of your body. Again, 1 more time, closing. And opening. And then bringing your knees back up to the sky, giving your sacrum a little massage. Your arms are still teed out. And then we're just going to give ourselves a nice big squeeze. Thank yourself for coming this evening and showing up to this practice. You're here, and that's what matters. It's going to be a fun hour ahead. Wiping away some of the stress of the weekend and the worries of the week ahead, and just being in this moment. Let's release the hug and collapse your body into an X on the ground. Taking a deep breath in and out, and then grabbing your legs and hugging them in again, crossing at the ankles. Holding onto your shins, we're going to rock up and back, getting a nice spinal massage up and back, up and back. And on the last one, we're going to stay up at the top of our mat, cross our legs in a nice, easy pose, Sukhasana, and meet here. Sitting up nice and tall, your gaze is forward at the top of your mat. We're going to start with a little side stretch. So you're going to take your right palm and plant it into the earth beside you, sweeping your left arm up and over your left ear, left side of your body, getting a nice stretch. If you'd like to, and your neck is feeling comfortable and you want to shift your gaze and deepen your stretch, you can look up at your left hand. And if you really want to go deep in the stretch, you can put your whole forearm down on the side of your body. And this is another great place to grab a block. So if you have a block, you can put it beside you and just lean into the block. It's that extra support, but it gives you a nice deep stretch. Then coming up onto the other side. Palm or forearm into the ground, up and over, stretching the right side of your body, leaning to the left side through, pushing your gaze up if you would like, or you can just keep it neutral, whatever's most comfortable for your neck. And then up and back. Keeping your blocks nice and close to you during the practice will be great, so they're handy. Sitting with your palms rested on your shoulder. We're just gonna warm up our neck a little bit more and just start by making circles, drawing circles with the tip of your nose. Keeping your eyes closed or with a heavy gaze. Just 4 rotations. Again, just like you're drawing a circle with the tip of your nose, you don't want to crunch the back of your neck or overstretch the neck. Just a nice, comfortable rotation. And then reversing. Continue to draw those circles. Staying connected to your ujjayi breath throughout the practice, inhaling through the nostrils and out through the nostrils. Head center. Shoulders are going to go up to the ears and down, up and down, shoulders up and back and front. And we're going to come onto our palms and push ourselves up onto all fours into a tabletop position. Once you get into tabletop, find yourself in a nice, comfortable position where you feel nice and stable. And we want to warm up the wrists first. So by doing that, we're just going to turn our palms and face our knees. So the eyes of our elbows are going to be facing out. We're just going to check the flexibility of our wrists and like work on just getting them warmed up here. So rocking back and forth, and then flip them back, and just a nice rock back and forth. We're going to do a few rounds of cat-cow. So for cow, we're going to push our belly down to the earth, neck up to the sky, and then exhale as you come into the cat position, back up, navel to spine, toes are pointed behind you. Cow position, and back to cat, chin to chest and cat, really getting a nice deep stretch, navel to the earth, and then one more cat stretch. And from here, we're just going to do some circular rotation with the body, and this is really whatever feels right for you. Just a nice, yummy movement. Working through, getting our hips nice and warmed up, our upper body nice and warmed up. So just taking some circles to the right. And then when you're ready, you can reverse this movement and take it in the other direction. Again, there's no right or wrong here. It's whatever feels good. Just to really get your body nice and warmed up before we begin to flow. And then come back to a nice tabletop position. From here, we're going to do what we call thread the needle. So we're going to take the right arm up to the sky, gaze following your hand, and then take the arm and thread it through your left arm. And you're going to want to place your shoulder on the ground. Now, this is also another nice place where if you need that extra support of a block, you can grab your block. So from here, if you've got the full stretch going and you have your left forearm into the ground, you're also welcome to take a nice bind here. Again, if you're here and you're comfortable, just hold this position, stay, and keep connected to the breath. You can also take your left arm up and back and bind it around the back side of your body, which will give you another nice chest opener on the left side and really open that shoulder as well. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. And take your left palm and plant it back into the earth, pushing yourself up back into tabletop position. Same thing here. Opening up on the left side. Pulling your gaze up to the hand, only if that's comfortable for you. And threading the needle, taking that needle and pushing it through the thread onto the other side. So your left shoulder will now be into the ground and your right forearm be flat on the ground in front of you. Rest here with your left cheek onto the earth. If you'd like to deepen the stretch, you can take the bind. So take your right arm up and back behind you, wrapping it around your back side of your body. Staying here for a couple rounds of breath. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhale and exhale. And then plant your right palm back into the earth, pushing yourself up onto all fours. And we're going to come back into child's pose. So this is our first child's pose of class. I prefer to take my child's pose with wide knees, whatever is most comfortable for you. And if you have blocks right now, I would also get them nice and close to you because we're going to do it, add blocks in for a little deeper stretch. So in child's pose, you walk your hands out to the top of your mat, pressing your third eye, your forehead into the earth. Getting a nice deep stretch here. Again, staying connected to that ujjayi breath. Inhaling and exhaling, keeping to your own rhythm. And if you do have your blocks handy, take your right hand and your left hand, place them on the blocks in front of you. And here you'll feel an extra deep stretch of your shoulders and your arms. And this will prepare us for our downward dog and our vinyasa flow that we're about to begin. Again, inhaling and exhaling. Inhale and exhale. And then you can remove your palm from the mat. And when you're ready, come to meet me in downward facing dog. This is our first down dog of the class. So we're going to spend some time here, just getting comfortable and getting nice and warm. So what I suggest is to pedal out the feet right and left. Planting your palms into the earth. And just get the backs of the legs nice and warm. And then if you can, bring your heels all the way down to the earth. And then just raise them up. And then down again. As far as you can go, and up, and down, and up, and down, and then stay up on this last up. And we're gonna slowly, just on the balls of our feet, tiptoe and take a nice slow walk to the top of our mat. Feet in parallel position, hips width apart. You're still bending forward in a nice forward fold with a slight bend in the knee. So front body is heavy, hanging over in a forward fold, and you can grab opposite elbows and just shift your body from side to side and just get some blood flowing and spend some time here in this nice deep stretch. And then when you're ready, release the arms and roll your body up vertebrae by vertebrae, keeping that bend in the knees. Coming to meet me at the top of your mat in an Anjali mudra with your hands at your heart center in a prayer position. And we're just going to take a Surya Namaskar A. So we're going to begin to flow slowly, bringing your arms up over your head, flowing down, stepping your right foot back into a lunge position. And just staying here, getting a nice little rock back and forth, getting a nice deep stretch in the quads and in your hips. And then taking it back, your left foot back to plank. We're going to do our first vinyasa, which we're going to do quite a few of these in the practice this evening. So you're going to slowly roll through, pushing your body forward, down onto your belly, and you can also modify by putting your knees down for that, which I'll show on my next round. Lifting up either to cobra or upward facing dog, whichever you prefer and is best for your body this evening. And then pushing back into down dog. From here, we're going to step, jump, or hop to the top of our mat. Halfway lift, crown of the head pushing forward to the mat in front of you, and then root to rise up, Anjali Mudra. All right, follow me. Arms up, above you, rolling down vertebrae by vertebrae, stepping the left foot back, rocking back and forth in your lunge. Right foot comes back to plank to meet the left. Take a nice flow, slow flow, upward dog or cobra, and meet in down dog. We're going to do this twice more. Step, jump, or hop to the top of your mat. Halfway lift, and down. Lifting up. Anjali Mudra, hands to heart center. Again, lifting up, folding down. Stepping the right foot back. Rocking back and forth in this nice lunge, getting a nice deep stretch. Stepping the left foot back to meet the right. Flowing through our vinyasa. Upward facing dog. And let's hold this here for a few breaths. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Coming back to downward dog. Step, jump, or hop to the top of your mat. Halfway lift and down. Root to rise up. Hands to heart center. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. One more time. Up, root to rise. Lower the body down. Stepping the left foot back. Rocking back and forth in your lunge. Right foot to meet the left. Flowing through upward facing dog or cobra. And then meet in down dog. Let's take 3 breaths here, inhaling and exhale. Inhale and exhale. And then on this last breath, we're going to do a nice lion's breath all together, collectively. Inhale, exhale, opening the mouth and the tongue. And then let's take a nice little break here and meet back in child's pose, Balasana. If you'd like to take your arms back here and gently rest them by your legs. Give your third eye, your chakra here, a little massage. And remember to continue to quiet that inner voice inside of you and just enjoy the practice and melt into it. Okay, coming back to down dog, we're gonna move on. Starting with lifting your right leg up to the sky, pointed toe, knee to nose, stepping your foot through into a lunge. And have your blocks nearby. This is also a great place if you have sensitive knees to grab a blanket or a pillow. So I'll just demonstrate that. You're gonna put your left knee down, and we're gonna get a nice deep stretch here. And then we're gonna move into a lizard. So for lizard, if you're gonna heel, toe. So you have both hands on the inside of your right leg. So you're gonna deepen your stretch here. Get a nice stretch in the hips. Now, if you're in this lizard position and this feels great for you, awesome. If you want to take it further, I recommend either taking a block in front of you and putting your forearms on the block, and you can really breathe into this pose here. Or if you're feeling ultra flexible this evening and you want to take your forearms down to the mat, it's another great way to do it. Keeping your gaze down at the mat, continuing to stay connected to your breath here. Now here's another option for a pose. If you're here and you're loving it, great, stay here. But if you'd like to get a quad stretch on your left quad, you continue to open up your shoulders. We're going to take our right arm up and back to meet our left foot and grasp onto the outside of our left foot. So you should really feel a deep stretch in your left quad. As well, you're getting a nice shoulder opener on the right side here and shifting your gaze back at your right shoulder if your neck feels right and comfortable. And then back to lizard if you took this pose. If not, just staying in your nice lizard position. And then you're going to heel, toe, your leg back to center. And then we're going to come into a higher lunge here, right? So back up onto your lunge, runner's lunge, and then scoop the left leg in to a nice seated twist position. From here, we're going to do a nice open twist, taking your arm up right by your ear and twisting over to the left side. And you can wrap your left arm around the back side of your body. And if you're feeling comfortable and your neck is feeling good, you can shift your gaze over the back of your left shoulder. Otherwise, keep your gaze forward. And maybe just take this nice breathing moment in the stretch and give yourself a smile. And then if you want to close the twist and twist to the other side, taking your elbow to your left knee, looking back over your right shoulder. Couple rounds of breath here. Back to center. Using your core to push up to your palms, stepping your feet back. We're going to flow through chaturanga, upward facing dog, back to down dog. Taking the other side. Left leg up to the sky, toe nice and pointed, knee into nose, stepping the left foot in between both palms. And then we're going to place our knee down. So again, grab your prop if you need it. I definitely have sensitive knees, so I do. And then heel toe the foot out to a nice lizard position. Here you should really feel that stretch in your hip. Grab your block if you need it. If you want to deepen your stretch, take the block. Or if you're feeling flexible and you don't need the block, you can remove the block and just get your forearm down to the earth. Again, really breathing into this pose. This one can be a challenging one. Try to enjoy it. And hopefully what it's allowing you to do is to quiet your inner voice and help you focus on this position. If you'd like to take the stretch further, again, you can lift the right leg behind you, taking the left arm up and back, grabbing onto your right foot, getting that nice quad stretch on the right leg. Left side body getting a good stretch, shoulder up, gaze behind you. And then unbind, palms back to center, heel toe your foot back into your lunge. Coming up into your runner's lunge for support, scooping the right leg back underneath the left. We're going to take an open twist, so taking your left arm up and then twisting to the right side, So really opening that right side of your body. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale, staying connected to that Ujjayi breath. And then twisting a nice closed twist. Twisting over to your left side. Taking your elbow to put some pressure on that knee and deepen the stretch. And if your neck is feeling comfortable, you can shift your gaze over your left shoulder behind you. And then back to center. Stepping back, chaturanga into upward facing dog, and meet me in down dog. We're gonna go through this all together one more time. We're just gonna pick up the pace just a tiny notch. Taking your right foot to the sky, bringing your knee into your nose and planting your foot down. Heel, toe, placing your knee down behind you to lizard. Again, using your prop if you need, whatever suits you and what's right for your body today. Coming into your lizard pose, gaze onto your mat. Taking a few rounds of breath here. And if you'd like to take the deep stretch, join me. If not, just stay in that lizard pose and keep in your breath. Again, gaze shifts behind the shoulder, feeling that nice deep stretch. Coming out of it, you want to heel, toe, the foot into this nice plank. Coming up to a runner's lunge, so lifting that knee, scooping in to a seated twist. I'm going to do a nice open twist, right arm up, twisting to the left side of the room. Again, a nice yogi smile. Enjoying this moment, looking over, switching your gaze over your left shoulder if you can. And then twist, close twist. Shifting your gaze over your right shoulder. Coming back to center, placing the palms into the earth, stepping back into your plank. Let's just hold this plank here for a second. Just rocking back and forth. And then slow chaturanga into upward facing dog and down dog. Last time on our left side, lifting our left toes up to the sky, bringing your knee into your nose and stepping your foot through. Bringing your knee down to the mat, placing a blanket or pillow for comfort underneath, should you need that for support. Heel, toe, out into your lizard position. Come to your forearms, whether that is on your block or on the mat. Gaze down at the mat. Really breathing into this, enjoying this moment. And if you'd like to deepen the stretch, come up to your right palm, taking your left hand up and back, grabbing the outside of your right foot, gazing over your left shoulder. Unravel, bring the palms in. Heel, toe, back to your lunge position, coming up, back to your runner's lunge, and then scooping your right under your left. Open twist to your right side of your room over your left leg. Twisting, opening that chest up. Gaze over the right shoulder. Back to center. Up and over to the left side of the room. Gazing over your left shoulder. Giving a nice smile as if we were all in a room together and you could see the yogi behind you. And then back to the center. Stepping back into plank. slowly rolling through chaturanga. Again, modified chaturanga. You can just put your knees down, elbows close into your body, upward facing dog, and then back into down dog. And again, let's put our knees down and come into a child's pose with our knees together. And putting our arms right by our side, giving a nice forehead massage. And just taking a rest here. If you need to grab a sip of water, catch your breath, stay in this child's pose for as long as you'd like. And I'll just let you know when we're going to come back into down dog and continue our flow. Stay connected to your breath. And then when you're ready, let's come back up into down dog. Okay, right foot up to the sky. And we're gonna open up the right hip here. So just take your hip, open it up, take your foot behind you, give it a few circles to the right, and then maybe circle to the left. So really opening up that right side of the hip here. Then squaring the hips back, putting your knee to your nose again, and then stepping through into a lunge. Your hands are framing your foot. We're gonna meet in warrior one position. So warrior one, your arms are above your head, right by your ears, shoulders are nice and down. Your left foot, the foot behind you, should be out at a 45-degree angle. And your hips are nice and square to the front of the room. From warrior one, we're gonna go to warrior two position. So keeping that foot behind you again, still pointed slightly inwards at a 45-degree angle. Gaze is forward over these fingertips. A nice powerful gaze and a strong reach. Nice straight line from the left to the right fingertips. From here, we're going to reverse the warrior. So pulling that arm up and back. You have the option to keep your left arm by the side of your body, or you can bind it, giving a nice stretch, wrapping it around the back side of your body. Gaze is up to your right palm. Only if comfortable. If your neck is sensitive, you can keep the gaze forward. And then coming back to warrior two. Now, if you have a block nearby, you might need it for this. So I'm just going to suggest grabbing a block, and I'll demonstrate with the block. We're going to come into, from a strong warrior two, we're going to come into our half moon. So we're going to shift all of the weight into our right leg and our right arm and push the body up to half moon. So I have my hand being supported on the block, and my left leg is behind me. Left arm straight up to the sky. And once you get to this balance, you can either keep your gaze forward like I am at the camera, or shift it up to the left. And now I'm going to slightly bend that front knee, coming up into a one-legged Tadasana. So here we are in Tadasana position with our left leg up. And as you'll see, it's completely normal to wobble a little bit. That's part of the standing series. And you're going to grab your left ankle and bring it into your left thigh for a tree pose. If you'd like to modify this, you can also just bring your left foot to your left ankle, whichever is most comfortable, or you can even just place the ball of the left foot onto the ground. Wherever you're at in your practice and in your tree pose, bring your hands to heart center, Anjali Mudra. Take a few rounds of breath here, inhaling and exhaling. And if you're feeling great in this position and you want to challenge yourself even further, you can lift your arms up to the sky in a nice V position and shift your gaze up. And you can even sway the limbs of your tree branches from side to side. Again, whatever feels right for you. Coming back into your heart center, prayer hands, left foot down. We're going to heel, toe, heel, toe into a nice wide-legged position. So my heels are about the same width of my mat. We're going to come into a yogic squat. So again, you need your block. Place it in between your legs for this. We're going to slowly bend down. It's like a plie position in dance into a yogic squat. I'm using my block here. If you have this pose down and you want to remove your block and deepen the stretch, you can deepen the stretch, keeping your posture nice and aligned. So your back is straight, your neck is straight, and you're using your elbows to press back on your knees and really open up those hips. From here, we're going to push up into a forward fold position. So take the palms and push yourself up, chin to chest. And we're going to heel toe even further into a wide forward fold. So listen closely. We're going to heel, toe, heel here. So our toes are pointed slightly inward in this forward fold position. Palms to the earth, in the center of your legs. And here, chin to chest, to really get a nice deep forward fold position. And staying here for a couple of breaths. We're going to twist this. So twisting to the left, opening up that left side of your body and back down to center. And then opening up the right side of your body and back down to center. And then we're going to heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, back into our parallel position, feet over our hips, forward fold, root to rise up, hands above your head in prayer position, hands to your heart center, and we're going to do the other side. So flow with me on the left side, up and down, halfway lift and down, stepping your left foot back, your right foot back, chaturanga into upward facing dog, and meet me in down dog. Left leg up to the sky, toes flexed. Let's open up that left hip. So opening up the left hip, bending that left knee behind you, and then centering the hip again, foot behind you. Need to know, stepping your left foot through to meet your hands. So your palms are framing your left foot. From here, we're going to come up into warrior one position. Nice, strong warrior one. From warrior one, we're going to shift to warrior two. Again, gaze is to the front of the room, looking over your fingertips. It should be a nice straight line from the front of your fingertips to the back. You're going to reverse the warrior by lifting up and over. Again, you can keep your hand on the right side of your body, or you can wrap it and get a nice bind here. And if you like the stretch in the neck, you can shift your gaze up to your left hand and meet me back in warrior two. From warrior two, we're going to go into our half moon again. Know this is a challenging pose, so if you'd like to opt out, no worries. You can also modify it by using your block, taking all of the weight, pushing into your left side of your body, left hand on the earth or on a block to support, foot is flexed. Wherever your gaze is, you can look right behind you, or if you feel comfortable, gazing up to your hand that's up in the sky, and then slowly come down, sweeping up into a one-legged Tadasana. Again, this is a challenge, but it's keeping us connected, and it's allowing our mind to stay focused. And here we go, taking our right ankle into our tree pose, placing it on our left thigh, if that works for you. If not, you can modify by putting it at your left ankle or stabilized onto the floor. Wherever you're at in your tree pose, when you're there and comfortable, take your palms to meet me in heart center. We're going to stay here for a couple of breaths. And if you'd like to challenge yourself, you can raise your tree limbs up to the sky, sway them from side to side. Hands back to prayer. Come into Tadasana, and we're going to heel, toe into a nice wide-legged position, getting into our yogi squat, taking our hands in our prayer position, Anjali Mudra, coming down into a deep squat. Now, if this is as far as you can go, amazing. Stay here, challenge yourself, and hold this. If you'd like to go further, come down as far as you can. You can sit on your block, or you can squat and get your body as low to the ground as I am, whichever works best for you. Staying here for a couple of rounds of breath, using your elbows to push those knees back and really open up your hips. Again, taking that nice smile if you can. It always helps me get through practice. And then palms to the earth, pushing yourself up into a forward bend. We're going to heel, toe, heel. So we have a nice wide-legged forward fold at the top of our mat. Palms in between our legs, chin to chest. Getting a nice deep stretch here. Stretching, opening the right side of the body. And down. Opening the left side of the body. And down. And then heel, toe, until you're back into your forward fold position with your feet over your hips, width apart. Let's take a nice forward fold hang here. Swaying the body from side to side, grabbing opposite elbows if that feels good to you. And then rolling up vertebrae by vertebrae. Palms up above the head in prayer position and meeting me at heart center. One more time, each side. Up over our heads, rolling down the body. Halfway lift and down. Stepping back into our Savasana. Chaturanga, upward facing dog, meeting me back in down dog. Right foot goes up to the sky. Let's open up our hip here. Really enjoy this hip, bending that knee behind us. Circling the foot if that feels good to you. And then centering the hip back. Bringing your knee to your nose. Stepping through, coming up into Warrior One. From Warrior One, let's go right to Warrior Two. Strong Warrior Two. And then reverse it. From Reverse Warrior, we're going back to Warrior Two. And then we're going to go right into our half moon. Again, you should know your modification and what works for you on this side. Palm to the earth. Other palm right to the sky. Looking up, shifting your gaze up to your hand if possible. Slight bend in the knee as we scoop up and come into our one-legged Tadasana. Palms are facing the front of the room. From here, we go into our tree pose, grabbing your left ankle, placing it on your left thigh, bringing your palms into your prayer position. If you're feeling great here, you can lift your palms up to the sky, sway your tree branches from side to side, and then bring your palms back to heart center and come back into Tadasana. heel, toe, heel, toe. So you've got that nice wide stance on your block, bringing your hands into your Anjali Mudra, coming down into yogic squat. You know, yogis, if you're comfortable here, that's great. If you're comfortable here, that's great. If you want to go even further, awesome. Whatever feels right for you, and using your prop if necessary. Staying here for a couple rounds of breath. And then planting the palms into the earth, pushing your body up into a forward fold. And then we're going to heel, toe, heel into our forward fold. In our wide-legged forward fold, we're going to take the left side of the body, twisting it open, shifting our gaze up to the left hand if we can, and bringing it back down to the earth. Right side of our body, and back to the earth. Heel, toe, until you get into that nice forward fold position. Feet over your hips. A little rock from side to side. And rolling up slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae. Root to rise, palms up above. Anjali Mudra, leading in prayer. One more side, guys. Thank you for flowing with me tonight. Rolling your body down, up and down. Left foot back, right foot back. Chaturanga into upward facing dog and pushing back into down dog. Left leg going up to the sky. Opening up that left hip, bending that left leg behind you. Keeping the right foot squared and the right side of the hip squared. And squaring your hips back off to the center. Knee to nose, stepping through. And meeting me, sweeping up to meet me in Warrior One. From Warrior One, come into a strong Warrior Two. Keeping that energy, reaching out through the fingertips. I always pretend that there's light bursting out of my fingertips. And then from here, really pushing into your reverse warrior. You can take the bind with your right arm if that feels right. If not, you can just keep it planted by your side. And if you'd like to shift the gaze to your hand, you can. And from here, back into Warrior Two, shifting your weight forward into this half moon position. From half moon, shifting your gaze to the side or up to your hand. If you can, sweeping the leg through to meet in a one-legged Tadasana. From this one-legged Tadasana, we grab our ankle and we come into our tree pose. Here, once we're in our tree pose, wherever that tree pose might be, we meet with our hands and heart centered. Taking a couple breaths, reaching up to the sky if possible, and swaying those branches from right to left. Woo! And then meeting with our palms back in heart center, planting the foot down into Tadasana. We heel, toe, into our nice wide-legged position. Going into our yogi squat. Taking this nice deep squat. Palms to the earth. Stretching up. We're gonna toe, heel, we're gonna heel, toe, heel to our nice wide-legged forward fold. And then we're going to stretch our body open to the right side and lower. To the left side and lower. And then we're going to heel, toe, back into our parallel position. Toes are over your hips, hips with distance apart. Rolling your body up vertebrae by vertebrae. Root to rise And meet me with your palms in heart center. Coming up, rolling the body down, stepping back into plank position. And when we get to plank position, we're going to put our knees down, flip our toes under on top of the mat, slowly push our way down onto our bellies. And we're going to get here having your arms just down by your sides, so your palms flipped upward so they're facing the earth. Forehead is into the mat. Again, giving your third eye a little massage here, and also shaking your hips from side to side. From here, we're going to come into a locust position. So we can modify this in several different ways. If you want to just lift your upper body off the floor in like a cobra position and lifting your legs up, that's great. If you'd like to go full locust, you can take your right arm and your left arm in a clasp behind you and rise up, holding 1, 2, and 3, and then calming down, collapsing, putting your right cheek into the earth, and your forearms are also into the earth, and then just shaking your hips out from side to side. And we're going to do one more locust, just like that. So if you'd like to just come up into your cobra with your elbows close to the sides of your body and try lifting the backs of your legs up, that's great. You could even just take your cobra here. If you'd like to take full locust, you can meet me here by taking your right and your left hands and clasping them behind you, lifting your legs off the ground. And you're here for 1 and 2 and 3, relaxing to the earth, forehead to the earth, and just resting and shaking your hips from side to side. Here we're going to push ourselves up onto all 4, and we're going to take one more Vinyasa. So just taking a nice child's pose here. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhale. Inhale and exhale. You're going to take your fingertips and walk them and push yourself back up to a seated position. And then we're going to come onto our seat and just extend our feet in front of us and our legs in front of us. We're going to remove any excess skin from our sits bones. We're going to raise our arms up over our head for our first seated forward bend. So here we're going to, I always like to roll out the wrists. We've just been using them a lot in our flow, so roll them out. Leaning forward, you want to make sure to not curve your back. You want to come at it from a flat back approach. And try to touch the tips of your toes. And you can also modify, you can slightly bend your knees so you can get that nice deep stretch. You should feel it in your lower back. And then here, once you're here in this nice flat back position, we're going to want to bend over and really get a nice deep stretch. And the ultimate goal here is to get our forehead to our knees. So staying here for a couple rounds of breath. And then when you're ready, walk your fingertips back up, coming to a nice upright position. And then you're going to bring your left leg, kind of like we did in tree pose, but you're going to bring it even higher up. So your left heel is close to your body as you possibly can get it. Left knee out to the side, right leg extended forward. Bringing your arms up and over your head. Again, circling those wrists out. Coming over it from a flat back approach. We don't want to be hunched over. We spend so much of our time hunched over. So really just feeling that back elongated, your neck nice and elongated. Again, if you need that slight bend in the knee here, take it. That's great. You're still getting the ultimate stretch that you need. And then bending forward, trying to get your forehead to your knee here, and staying here for a few rounds of breath. And then coming up slowly, fingertips walking up. We're just gonna take a really fun stretch here. You're gonna push your body into your weight of your body into your left palm. You're gonna sweep the right arm up and over and push your hips and your body forward into a modified wild thing pose. So just really enjoy this stretch. Stretch your fingertips out, keep your front toes pointed and your back toes pointed, and then sweeping back down. We're gonna do the other side. So left leg extended out in front of you, right leg in. Again, moving any excess skin from your sits bones. So you get right up on top of those sits bones. Arms up over your head, circling out the wrists. Extend forward, coming at it from a flat back approach. So nice, long, elongated back. Lower back is nice and stretched and flat. And then you're going to want to come over on your leg. Trying to take your forehead to your knee here. Again, if you need to put a slight bend in the knee as a modification, that's great. Enjoying this deep stretch. Again, when you're ready, slowly take those fingertips and walk them back up. And then you're going to take your right palm and you're going to sweep the left arm across your body and do a nice wild thing position. So just opening up that whole side of your body. It feels so great. And then coming back down. And then we can face the front of the room. We're going to do a wide leg seated forward fold. So spreading your legs as comfortably wide as possible, getting them nice and out to the side. Toes are nice and flexed up. Same thing here. If you have your block handy, this is a great time to use the block. Putting the block in front of you. Again, walking your fingertips out, coming at it with a nice flat back. So let's just hold this flat back here. Keeping your gaze neutral, palms on the earth, really feeling the stretch in the hips and your lower back. And then when you're ready, we're going to deepen into this forward fold. If you can, place your elbows into the earth. If you have a block in front of you like I do, this is a great way to deepen the stretch with some support, putting your forehead into the block. And if you're feeling really flexible this evening, you can remove the block and put your forehead onto the earth. Whatever works best for you. Just really taking your time here in this stretch. And then when you're ready, you can remove the block if you've used it. Take your fingertips, walk yourself right back up. We're going to sweep the left leg across, coming into a nice seated position with our knees to our chest. And then we're just going to roll down, but keep holding onto your knees, vertebrae by vertebrae, onto the earth until you're flat on your back. Here we're going to do a couple of pelvis tilts. So this is important to keep your upper back on the floor. It stays grounded into the earth. And the sacrum, the lower back, is just going to tilt up to the sky. So we're just going to do a couple of these. So just join me in tilting up your pelvis. Again, keeping your upper back and your neck neutral. Just tilting the pelvis up to the sky and then releasing it back down to the earth. And then rocking the sacrum back and forth from side to side. And again, lifting your pelvis up, squeezing it in, tightening those muscles, your pelvic floor muscles, and then releasing your pelvic floor muscles and opening up the sacrum and rocking your hips from side to side. And that was preparation for bridge pose. So there's several variations of bridge that we can do. I'll just walk you through step by step. First, we're going to do bridge by just pushing our pelvis and then pushing our lower back up off the floor. So if you feel comfortable and you just want to stay here, you can stay in this bridge. Or if you want to deepen the stretch of the bridge pose, you can take that clasp that we did earlier in class, putting your shoulders together and your chin to chest here, and coming up into this nice bridge position. Breathing into this pose, staying connected to the breath here. And then when you're ready, you can unravel your shoulders, bringing them back onto the earth, and lower your pelvis and your sacrum to the floor, vertebrae by vertebrae. If you have full wheel in your practice, this is a great time to do so. Otherwise, just take another bridge. So from here, going up into your bridge, and staying in bridge. Or again, if you want to go into your full wheel, you can take that position now. Staying here for a couple more breaths. Slowly coming out of whatever position you were in, vertebrae by vertebrae, and bringing your palms back down to the earth. Now we're going to take a reclined pigeon position. So for some, it might just be comfortable to stay here in this crossed position. So taking your left ankle, crossing over your right knee. To deepen this pigeon stretch, we're going to lift our right leg up off the floor. We're going to take our hands and wrap it around our right thigh behind us. So this deepens the stretch. You can just stay here, really feeling this nice stretch in your left hip. It's a great hip opener. And staying connected to your ujjayi breath still throughout the practice. And then placing your foot into the ground. And let's switch and do the other side, taking your right ankle, crossing it over your left knee. Now, if this is comfortable for you and you just want to stay here, that's completely fine. It's a wonderful modification for pigeon. If you want to extend and deepen your stretch, bring your left leg up. You might even want to give a nice little push here on your right knee, or grab the back of your left thigh with both hands and pull your left thigh towards you. You want to be careful that you don't lift the pelvis off the ground, but that you keep your pelvis planted into the earth here. And really staying into the breath and feeling the stretch. And then we're going to bring both feet down. And just like we did in the beginning of class, we're going to end with some twisting. We're going to do a supine twist. So this time we're going to have the right leg extended straight in front of you, bringing your left leg up and twisting it, your left knee over to your right side of your body, and then opening your arms back up into that T. And just like book ends, we're going to do some book opening and closing again as we approach the end of our class. We're going to close the book pages and then open them, painting a nice stripe across our body. And then close again. And then paint a nice stripe across our body, opening those pages. Coming back to center, legs in front of you, stretch long in front of you. Maybe just rock the heels into the earth and rock your body back and forth into the earth. palms up to the sky. We'll do the supine twist on the other side, taking your right toe to your left knee and then crossing your right leg over your left in this nice twisted position. And we're going to close the pages of the books and then open them. And hopefully this stretch is a lot easier now that we're nice and warm. Closing the pages of the books and then swiping across your body, painting a nice stripe of color, whatever color you want. One more time. Closing and opening. Coming back to center, rolling onto your back, legs in front of you, and again, just rocking into your heels, into the earth, really feeling grounded. Bring your legs in, give yourself a nice big squeeze. And we're going to do a nice stretch it's really helpful for your circulation, legs up against the wall. If you have a wall and you'd like to use it, you can. And you can just get into a nice, comfortable position by putting your legs up against a wall that you might have near you. So I'm going to hold this position since I have a wall. If you don't have a wall, you can put your legs in like a waterfall position, which is just legs up, but in a very relaxed state. So no need to point your toes, no need to have your legs perfectly straight here. It's very slight bend in the knees, heavy on the ankles, really feeling your sacrum grounded into the earth. And enjoy this pose. Palms up, receiving the energy of the room around you. All of us are together, even though we're apart. Thanking yourself for coming to class tonight and for quieting that inner voice. And hopefully you can continue to quiet that inner voice as we leave the mat this evening. This is a great posture to do after a long day of walking or biking or working on your feet. It's a really lovely restorative pose, and it's awesome for your circulation. So just feel that nice blood flow. And then when you're ready, either come back to your mat if you were on a wall like I was, and bring your legs down and again, giving yourself a nice one last big squeeze of class. And before we go into final Shavasana, if there's any other pose you'd like to take it now, whether that be happy baby, or maybe you want to take a plow pose, or anything that you're feeling you didn't get to do in this practice, I would say take it right now. I love happy baby, so I'm going to take happy baby. And then when you're ready, you feel like you've gotten everything that you've needed out, meet me in final Shavasana. Palms, again, receiving the energy around you. Eyes completely closed, and eyelids heavy. And you can start to drift off and get back to your natural breath, less rhythmic. Release that ujjayi breath that we kept through class and get into a nice, relaxed state. You can stay here for as long as you'd like. I'll lead you out when the time is ready. Another section of this book, in the chapter, The Voice Inside Your Head, this book is by Michael A. Singer. It says, true personal growth is about transcending the part of you that is not okay and needs protection. This is done by constantly remembering that you are the one inside that notices the voice talking. That is the way out. The inside, who is aware that you are always talking to yourself about yourself, is always silent. It is a doorway to the depths of your being. To be aware that you are watching the voice talk is to stand on the threshold of a fantastic inner journey. If used properly, the same mental voice that has been a source of worry, distraction, and general neuroses can become the launching ground for a true spiritual awakening. Come to know the one who watches the voice, and you will come to know one of the great mysteries of creation. Slowly start to bring some movement into your toes and your fingertips. Just wiggling your toes, wiggling your fingertips, and bringing yourself back. And then maybe roll onto your side and come into fetal position. Pushing yourself up slowly with your palms. Taking your time, no rush. I don't want to rush you. But when you're ready, meet me in easy pose Sukhasana. Your palms rested upon your knees. And then once you're there, keep your gaze heavy. You can even continue to keep your eyes closed. If you want to have a little bit more consciousness or awareness of your surroundings, you can lift your gaze into a light, gentle gaze. And then bring your palms to your heart center. We're going to end the class with one collective Om. So I'm going to just count to 3, and together we'll say Om. 1, 2, 3. Om. Bringing your thumb and palms to your third eye and bowing, thank you very much for coming to my class tonight. The light within you is the light within me.